the latter part, I will show you the technicality or the technical aspect of using Turnitin based on my experience. Okay, I'm just heavy purpose just for checking my similarity reports for my student, even for my research paper. So I'm not advanced in the Turnitin usage. Okay, however, I will make use the 2 hours given to me, okay, to explain to you about this software. Okay, all right. So allow me to share my slides. I just prepared my slides today. Because yesterday I got my second dosage of my vaccine, so I sleep earlier yesterday night because that is the impacts of the vaccine to my body. Okay, I feel sleepy. All right, now this is the slide that I've prepared, and have to declare all the informations that I put in this slide is from the internet. Okay, but however, I will explain the points given from this website. And okay, so we have this topic which is about how does Turnitin works. Okay, for information, I myself have used Turnitin for more than 5 years. Okay, every lectures in university they have free access for this account. As we know, this account is very important for us to check our similarity index, especially for our student assignment, as well as for our research paper. Okay, when we want to submit to the journals and so on, we have to commit with their standard rules, like for example 20% and below and something like that. Okay, even during my PhD time, I using the Turnitin account provided by my university to check my thesis from time to time before I submit to the for the Viva. Okay, so there's a lots of for me important things. Okay, for the advantage of using Turnitin. Okay, it's actually make our life the similarity is high or not. Okay, because as academics, okay, we have to ensure that the knowledge that we produce must be novel and cannot like copy paste many times or that without certain standard, right? We just copy and just put it in our text. No, we cannot do that. Okay, as academics, we have to ensure that the quality of our writing must come from us. Okay, now this is the slides. Okay, Turnitin originality. So this is the list of content that I wish to share with you, to all of you today, and then we'll go for technical parts of this sharing session. So the first one is about what is Turnitin. I think maybe some of you are still new, maybe the students who just joined the university as university students, maybe they just want to learn what is Turnitin about. Okay, so I put it as these courses for all. Okay, and then how does the Turnitin work? This is the second part of today. Okay, so this is very interesting, the third point here. And then how Turnitin help the student and how Turnitin help the instructor, which is us, the academics. And then we have the conclusion. So we have about 15 slides only. Okay, now just things that I like from the internet. The one that heavy descriptions on, I not put it in the slide because for me, the Turnitin is a very simple software. Okay, we don't have to think that much, okay, when we're using this software. So that's why I just take whatever I feel like for all of you. Okay, so okay, so what is a Turnitin? Okay, Turnitin is support academic works integrity. Okay, the main word here is integrity. Okay, by helping to check for plagiarism. So we have two words here, integrity and plagiarisms. Okay, integrity must be installed from the university life. Okay, for all the students. Okay, before they go out to the real world workings. Okay, so one of the forms of integrity is the assignments that. Okay, yes, we know that some students they have a short way, like just copy paste the information from the internet, and we don't really like that kinds of things happen. Okay, because there's no easy way for success. Okay, there's no easy way for success. Of course, the student have to learn to construct the words by their own. And as the academics ourselves, we don't mind much in terms of the grammatical error commit by the students, unless if the grammatical error is very huge, then maybe we want the student to redo it again. But however, when there's a grammatical error here and there, a bit here and there, I think we can accept it as long as it is not a plagiarism things. Okay, it's not the plagiarized work. Okay, so that's the reason. Okay, similar to the lecture itself, when we want to submit our paper, research paper, okay, chapter in book and so on, we have to go through this process of checking the similarity index. Okay, because similarity index is so high, and then maybe we submit to these types of journal that is not that good, the journals that considered as predatory journal, okay, and we have all this plagiarism happen. So this will definitely tarnish our reputation. So be in mind, any action that we take, okay, where we commit plagiarism, okay, the university management can take action to us, okay, like surat, something like surat tunjuk sebab, something like that, which is actually not good for our career advancement. So an intuitive similarity report provide the text matches and give a similarity score. So this is the purpose of Turnitin. They will, when we upload our paper or the assignments of our students in these systems, okay, they will have like a complicated way of detecting all the wordings in the text, because they have huge database, right? Everything from the internet. So when there is the similarity score, okay, sometimes some work reach about 40%, 50%, 70% of similarity score. So that is not good. Usually we have to try our best to get below 30 or below 20. Some below 15. It is actually according to the standard of the journals that we submit, or maybe according to our own standard when we want the students submit their work to us, how much that we allowed, like 25% okay, for example. Okay, next, how does Turnitin work? Okay, Turnitin has a comparison database that contains publicly available current and archive web content. Okay, so they have stored all the information uploaded, okay, in the internet. So that's why they have all this information from the books, from the newspaper and academic journals, as well as student papers admitted to the system. When that Turnitin system, of course, they will record it. So whenever there is another paper or another assignment student uploaded into the system, of course, they can cross-check the similarity score. Okay, there are sources that are not in the Turnitin database, especially if the material is only available in print. Okay, so this is the weaknesses of the Turnitin, because they cannot store the informations that only available in the hard shell, in the hard cover, okay, in the print version. Okay, so therefore, there are still way to commit all these plagiarism acts if we mean to do it so. For example, if we maybe plagiarize from the books, but you remember this, one day there will be like the revelations of your actions. Okay, maybe if not from this life, maybe afterlife. Okay, so that's why we have to avoid all this kind of action, dishonesty. Okay, however, informations that uploaded in the system are available in the database, in the archive. Okay, all right. If a student does a web search and copies and pastes information in an essay, chances are that it will find the matching text and be able to identify where it came from. So this is how detailed the Turnitin system. They can trace from which website the student copy paste, from which article. They will list it out in the right panel when you get the reports. Okay, and how many percent that you have copy paste. So that's why Turnitin is not, it's a simple software, but sophisticated in certain in a certain way, because they have all this ability to trace all the information, okay, where the student had done all this copy pasting and so on. Okay, not only student, even the lecturers. Okay, all right. So if a student use a library research database to copy, most likely to identify this material as a match. It will detect other student work if a student has copied from a previous paper submitted to the database. So that's why the more paper, the more student works being uploaded in the Turnitin system, the larger the database. So the student cannot simply say that, I copy paste from my senior 3 years ago, and these 3 seniors also upload in the in Turnitin system. Of course, this current student will face the problems of high similarity score, because all is recorded there and it is not demolished unless you request for the people in the Turnitin to demolish your records. There's a way for doing that. Okay. All right. So this is how the Turnitin works. I hope that you can get the pictures a bit about how this system. Okay. By the way, there's something like okay. Paper in Bahasa Malaysia. Okay. And all their references usually hardly find in the soft copy version. It is find in the print version. Of course, the Turnitin will score a very low similarity index. Usually, those who do a thesis writing in Bahasa Malaysia will have a lower similarity score, even the assignment, as compared to those in English, because majority of the information that being uploaded in the system is in English, not in other language. So that's why this system limitation is that they can only trace the one that been uploaded in the system, which is mostly English version. Okay, there might be some kinds of advantage for this person who do thesis in Bahasa Malaysia. But again, as I recall, when you are academics and when you are a student, you have to hold the integrity. And like maybe people not aware of those plagiarism that you have commit, but maybe one day when you have this career and some people detects all these similarity things happen, your record will be very tarnished. I think this happened to I, I'm sorry to say that this happened to one of the professor, okay, in one of the local university. The thesis that he done in overseas basically is a copy paste plagiarize from other thesis, and it's been detected by the people who reported it, and yeah, suddenly this professor retired or something like that. I don't know what happened to him. Okay, but if you are the government servant, you commit that kind of mistake, especially your thesis of your PhD, where you are being honored by the scholarship so on. Of course, the consequences will be very harsh. Maybe you hilang pension, good. Maybe fix something like that. Okay, so these types of news when happen supposed to be the eye opener for all of us, the academics, the new academics. So we have to always remind ourselves that we never do this, because it will repeatedly they will demolish our report, our reputation badly in the future. Okay, students are able to access the report by going to the assignment. Next to the attached file, they can see the percentage and the color square. Okay, in the report, there will be a very lots of colors there in the line shape. Okay, so there are 5 basic color: blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. Represent how much of the paper matches what's in the database. Okay, later on we will have the technical part where I will show you the real example. Okay, so all this color representing the numbers of percentage from the similar from something like that. So they use different colors to detect in the original text. Okay, we can download it later. Next, for example, a blue square means that less than 20 words in the paper is a match to what's in the database. Okay, so 20 words in the paper is a match to what's in the database. So they will put the blue line. A green square means a 12% match. If the square is red, it means 75% or 200% of the paper match. So red means alarming. Okay, which means that this person have commit a huge copy paste. Okay, from the resources outside. Okay, so we have to remove that. Okay, the red line, all this. Okay, student click on the colored square to view the report. Okay, later on I will show it to you. Okay, how to see it clearly. Okay, within the text of the original report, color and it is numbered. Okay, so this is very important because we can trace there are numbers there. Okay, from the report, so it is all convenient to us. Okay, by the way, is it okay I explain everything in English ataupun nak kena terang dalam bahasa Malaysia bahasa Melayu?
I think it's better to explain it in English since most of
Okay.
the audience love to speak in English.
Okay, all right, because we have participant from Indonesia as well, right? Okay, so that's why I'm asking that question because I always deliver webinar to Indonesian University as a visiting professor. So basically, sometimes I explain in Bahasa Malaysia, sometimes explain in English. Okay, all right, now I will proceed in English. All right, so various shades of basic colors are used. For instance, the text shown in the light green may be trivial or incidental. Okay, so basically every color representing the similarity. Okay, the content of the figures of this. A bit about Turnitin. Okay, Turnitin is not able to justify specific incidents of plagiarism. It can't prove that the student has not plagiarized. Oh, sorry. Okay, it generates a report that shows the degree of similarity between the work submitted and what is contained in the database. So the algorithm used is able to identify the strings of words in the paper that are identical to those in the database. Okay, so that's why when there's a huge similarity index from the reports, okay, first, we cannot simply, oh, this student has committed plagiarism and we can report it. No, sometimes there are certain things that we have to understand. For example, that maybe the student have upload once his work and he wants to upload for the second time the same work. But before the first one, he does not unclick the respiratory. Okay, so that's why the work that he has submitted, he get 99% similarity content. So of course we cannot simply say that, oh, the student commit plagiarism, because this high of similarity is came from his own work which already been stored in the database. That's why we have to call the call center. We have to email the call center, the Turnitin representative to undo, to remove the original papers so that now we can detect the real similarity index, like we just upload it for the first time. Okay, so this always happen to PhD students and master students. Okay, because we always upload this material and we upgrade in terms of writing many times, right? Sometimes our mistake is that we does not click the no respiratory in the system, which end up that the informations that we uploaded being stored officially. So when we want to re-upload, when we want to recheck our works that have been simulating that. So that's why we can solve this problem by contacting our IT staff and so on. Okay, there are ways for correcting this problem, solving this problem.
Doctor, can I ask the question or I should wait until you finish presenting?
You can ask the question, please.
Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Asnida from Perdana University in Kuala Lumpur.
All right.
Based on the situation that you were saying just now, okay, let's say the student, upload in the Turnitin software, yeah, twice lah. Let's see, okay, so it will be counted as 99% or whatever, yeah, after the
Yeah,
second submission to the Turnitin. So
yeah.
this, you were mentioning that we should call the call center for the Turnitin.
Mm.
Who actually has the authority to remove the first paper?
Yeah.
Is it? I mean, can the instructor do so? I'm not really sure because actually my experience using Turnitin is more when I was still doing my PhD. So since I have been lecturing, actually the administrative would conduct the Turnitin check for the students. So I'm not directly involved, but I just wonder if the instructor has the authority to remove.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. This is also experienced by me. Okay. Thank you for the question. Okay. So basically, it's not call, it's email because they are from overseas. Okay. This person who in charge in the Turnitin system. Okay. So what we can do is by reporting the reference ID. Okay. We have the reference ID for every Singapore that we put into the system, right? So basically, what I'm doing is to report this matter to to the university IT staff. Okay, IT staff.
I see.
Yes, the IT staff is the one perantara that will email to the person from representative, maybe from Asia and so on, to remove the original content from the turn-in, and possibly it will get back the assignments, and they will get the true similarity index because the original one is already been removed. So that's why it is very important to advise all the students to not click store in repository. Later on, I will show it to you. There is a function in the training that store in repository means that you officially store in that system, which add up to this problem. So we have to untick that one. Yeah. Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, thank you very much for the question. Yeah,
Yeah.
so mean that
Thank
we
you,
can
Doctor.
solve this problem. Yeah, so even my friends who are doing PhD, sometimes they ask my help or my opinion on regards to this matter, because even the PhD student who keep on revising the draft of the thesis also uploading many times. Sometimes they forget to unclick the repository, and up the similarity index become very high, right? So that's why don't worry. There's a way to solve this problem. Okay, there's a way to solve this problem. So that's why all the training account that we have is from our university, right? Because they have done all this payment and so on. So that's why we cannot use the piracy one and so on. So that will be problematic later on. We have to use the original and so on provided by the university. Okay. Now, maybe I can continue. Most work will contain some work from other sources, and this is nothing to worry about. A percentage of below 50% probably indicate that plagiarism has not occurred. Okay, 50% below is majority is a standard for high quality journals, even for the thesis. And different theses in different universities have different level. Like USM, if I'm not mistaken, 25% or like 50%, I not recall. Some university 20% below. So we have to follow the rules set by the universities. Okay. And if it is stated 50%, it does not mean that we plagiarize. Okay, it's just the similarity. And some people really have the ability to write a book, a thesis, a paper with less than 5% similarity. That is good. Okay, which means that maybe this person very low similarity index. But those who reach below 30% is considered normal. When you want to submit for the journal article and so on, it's considered acceptable according to the journal level lah. Okay, for like scopus, usually below 30% is acceptable. Some author might ask for reduction to 25%. Okay, so this procedure is common when you want to submit your paper to the journal. Even for the student who want to submit their assignment to us, we ourselves have to state the standard. Okay, the rule is that, like for me, for degree student, diploma, like 30% below is for me okay. Okay, but for master PhD, maybe I have to reduce more, like 20%. So we can basically have this our own rules there. Okay. However, if the matching 50% come into one block of text, this could indicate plagiarism. Okay. If the total 50% came from this part this area, another area from the thesis, that is basically not plagiarism. Okay, that is just they detected all the similarity content from different recorded 50% from the total from out of the total paper, then there is plagiarism because you basically copy paste the whole paragraph. Okay, so there are different way of interpretation for 50% in this context. 50% from many area of similarity or 50% from one single paragraph, for example. So of course, if it's from one single paragraph, that is plagiarism, very dangerous. Okay, we have to reconstruct, restrengthen the words and like change. I've learned before, like we can change every third word we can change to other words. Okay, yang sama maksud. Okay, in English lah. Okay, so then the system tak boleh nak detect the whole page, the whole text lah, because every third word we change into some similar meaning with different words. That is usually the things that I've done lah when I want to do for research paper. Okay, a high percentage of over 25% probably indicate plagiarized work. However, matches in the originality report are influenced. Excludes the quotes, references, a small match up to 5 words. This could give a more accurate overall representation. Of course, when we want to submit our works or the student works itself, we have to remove the references part. That is the most part that we have to remove. Okay, references. Okay, and then we can remove the names of the author, the front page. Okay, and then maintain the abstract and the rest. Okay, so this is for a standard paper when we want to submit to the journal. What about thesis? Okay, bear in mind, in the thesis, either master or PhD, there are one parts of thesis that we allow to copy paste. Which part? Methodology, the proven parts, the all these explanations of the methods. Okay, I'm not sure is this related to other field or not, but for economics, okay, in the methodology we have this part is allowed to copy and paste, like ADF, Philip Parent Test, ARDL. This part is allowed to fully copy paste. Okay, this part is allowed. So how the university will ensure, okay, in order for you to submit this thesis, okay, you can easily remove this methodology part when you want to get the original reports and submit for the viva. So this is allowed, okay, because when we explain the originality of the test, like what types of tests being used in the certain analysis that for our thesis, it is impossible for us to change and restructure the word, especially when it is so technical. Many formulation, calculus, how we can change that? So that's why we are allowed to copy paste that part. Okay, we are allowed to copy that part. All right, so I hope that you understand. This is because all this is based on my experience. Okay, next. How Turnitin helps students? Okay, lepas ni we show the technical part. All right, so nothing much on this session. Okay, actually 1 hour is enough, 1 hour and a half is enough. All right, now how Turnitin help the students? One of the main benefit of Turnitin is that when students submit their draft assignment to Turnitin before deadline, they can examine the report and make revision before submitting their final version on the due date. Okay, this is correct. Okay, because we have put the rules for the students that they have to submit with 30% below for the similarity, and usually they have to attach together the Turnitin reports to us. So the job of checking the student Turnitin report, we fall to the student itself. We are just get the report and we have to trust what the student give to us. And if below the 30%, okay, that's good. All right, and keep this as a evidence later on. Once a student receives a report, he or she must wait 24 hours to get another report after resubmission. Okay, if this has been enabled by submitting repeatedly. Okay, so all right, so basically this is a common practice when we detect a high similarity content. Okay, the student can redo, okay, revise, okay, what are the text that found higher similarity, so they can rechange the word and so on. Okay, then they can upload back until you get the lowest percentage that you satisfied. So basically you can do it many times and you don't have to wait 24 hours. I may be not sure with this content of these sentences, but we can always do it many times, anytime. And we can get it like quite fast result. Okay, I mean, like sometimes it just 10 minutes, sometimes it half an hours we get the index. Okay, so I think as long as the students has the effort to reduce the similarity content, to reduce, to reconstruct the sentences, I think this is acceptable for us to mark and check the content for a good grade. Okay, it depends. If the student cite text, it may appear as a match in the report if quotes are not excluded. This offers the opportunity to check that citation has been done properly. If a matching sources is meant to be code, it must be enclosed in the quotation marks and correctly referenced. Okay, this mistake is an easy way to fix and avoid in the future. So basically, when we have detect a long statuses like wording that we take from the one journal, so of course this can give an insight to us to put a quotation, because when we have put a long sentences, suppose we have to quote from the original author from their paper. Okay, we cannot simply just use the word, change it to our words, and then there's no proper a long information from this text, right, from the journal articles on. They can detect paraphrasing and will highlight poorly paraphrase text. Okay, if appropriate, student can be given instruction on how to paraphrase properly. It's not difficult to grasp and can avoid them getting a high percentage in reports in the future. So paraphrase ni memang skills that we have to master. Okay, even me myself, when I do my research paper, I usually combine at least 3 papers information into one paragraph combined with my idea. So rephrase plus 3 sources, different sources plus my idea, so I can get my own versions of text in the paragraph form. Okay, so usually that will reduce the similarity index. So kita tak boleh rely on only one paper. Okay, we can rely on 3 paper that actually explain the same sentences, and plus with our own idea with the references, and inshallah there will be a very low similarity index in that case, because we do this. Okay, usually that is my style of writing paper. It's a mix and match from 3 different journals that talk the same thing from the analysis. Okay, student working through a report can try excluding trivial matches and quote material first. They could consider deleting strings of matching word not essential to our paper and inserting more of their own original thoughts. Okay, so itu cara yang penting juga lah. When you have like detect very much your content from the internet and so on, okay, and this cause high citation, high similarity index. So of course this is the room for you to pour in your own understanding and your knowledge into the text, so that you can reduce, okay, or you can break down the right, plagiarism acts, right? So you can reduce it, you can like insert your own thoughts and so on, then I'm sure that the similarity content will be lesser. Students may appear to be an anti-Turnitin, but many of them appreciate the fact that it is helped to keep a level playing field. It gives a student a good reason not to share their work with others. It also protects their work from unauthorized use. So this is the more majority advantage. Okay, so the student, when they realize that everyone have to submit the reports, they cannot simply give his or her assignment to other students, because if not, there will be a possibility when this friend of him or her send to the Turnitin first. So later on when he want to submit, he detect a high citation. Patutnya dia punya kerja kan. Okay, so end up dia kena redo all things. Okay, so this can happen, right? So that's why when we have this report, the student basically can like being more not working, doing some last time, even during my study time, I do have friends who just take my assignment and just change my words because so lazy to finish the assignment at the master level and so on. So that's why it is actually from everyone's attitude and so on. That kind of behavior is not good. Okay, that's why I've been bad time with him. Okay, my friend there like last time. So that's why it's not good. Okay, when you take your assignments, okay, and make it like yours. Okay. Now, this is the last part before moving to the technical part. How Turnitin help the instructors? Turnitin offer flexibility for instructors. There are many options and settings available for adapting the various needs, whether for the individuals, departmental, or institutional. Okay, for instructor kita, we are access to more function of the Turnitin software. For instance, instructors can allow or disallow students from viewing report and allow them to resubmit and receive revised report. So we have all these functions. Okay. Numbers of consecutive words used when checking for list similarity. The likelihood of using the same 60 words in a row has less than 1 in million chance of being coincidence. Okay, so that's why we cannot like having like even sampai 16 kataan kita ambil daripada teks di luar kan, that is already commit the plagiarism. So that's the rules. As I learned before, if you want to reduce the plagiarism, okay, every fourth words you have to change to different words that have the similar meaning. Every fourth word in the sentences, setiap ayat yang keempat. Okay, ayat yang keempat tu tukar pada ayat yang sama maksud. Okay, so then this will help. When this happen, when you change every fourth word with your own words yang sama maksud, they must retain that takkan detect tinggi for that particular sentence because you dah break it. Okay, so dia takkan detect sampai 16 word macam ni lah yang panjang ya. Instructor will be able to see of the student use as extensive duplication of material on the web means that there are many matches are possible. So matches tu memang boleh berlaku lah kalau dia dah terupload dulu dan sebagainya, or maybe the student have take others person assignment and so on. Okay, so this software still got all these weaknesses lah yang boleh berlaku tanpa sedar kita sebagai pensyarah. Next, when it comes to check plagiarism, Turnitin is not able to make a judgment on the specific cases. All it does is to help instructors locate potential sources of plagiarism. So we can detect the resources of the similarity of the plagiarism. So kita boleh download lagi paper yang ada tu. Okay, so that's why the student cannot fake their report. The student cannot cheat us as the supervisor who have access to this report and so on. Their judgment is important and they need to find the reason or explanation for the match. Okay, kalau match tu banyak sangat dan dia kena tolak makar lah sebab student tu kira macam meniru kan. Okay, plagiarize the words. For example, a research may have a lead one student to the same source of material that another student included in the assignment already submitted, and this may be detected as match. Turnitin will only find matches and not interpret what they mean. Okay, maksudnya Turnitin ni walaupun dia detect 30%, dia takkan macam oh you have commit a plagiarism. No, dia tak ada function yang dia akan bagi tahu kat kita yang kita commit plagiarism, tidak. No one, the software does not do that. Okay, they just check the similarity. Yang akan decide kita plagiarism atau tidak adalah authority kita, universiti kita, management. Dia tengok macam mana. Dia akan nilai case by case. So ada banyak faktor-faktor yang perlu diambil kira. Tak boleh tuduh sembarangan. Kadang-kadang ada faktor-faktor yang tertentu yang menyebabkan ada speciality sikit atau realization sikit lah untuk dia terus doing this thing lah. Okay, tapi not benda yang jarang kita dengar lah. Tak berapa dengar sangat all these things. Okay, next conclusion. Turnitin is valuable. Correct interpretation of the result is essential for the successful use. Okay, students have the potential to learn from what is highlighted by Turnitin and fix issues such as improper paraphrasing or not using code correctly. So kita boleh redo back the paraphrasing dan juga put the citation or the references, okay, when we have these chances. Instructors are made aware of matches, but know too that not every match means that plagiarism has occurred. They will make a careful examination of both the submitted paper and the suspect sources before drawing any conclusion. So maknanya even kita sebagai pensyarah atau penulis ni tak boleh like membuta tulis lah buat keputusan okay student ni plagiarized. We have to check all the resources yang digunakan dan sebagainya. Every have like different field dan sebagainya. Mungkin sebab ada certain field tu macam mathematics right. Susah nak buat ayat sendiri kan. So there are certain part yang dibenarkan generalize everyone sama. Okay, lain-lain Student who want to bypass Turnitin, try to fool it should rather focus on more reliable methods. Rewrite, rephrase, or order a paper from this big Turnitin to make sure that you are safe from being accused of plagiarism. So maksudnya memang you have to do all this process lah, rewrite back, rephrase and order. So sebab tu kalau saya nak buat suatu paper, sebab saya active publish paper so usually saya akan cari 3 prime journal artikel yang berkaitan rapat dengan tajuk yang saya nak buat, yang saya suka baca, dan setiap bahagian daripada 3 jurnal tu macam daripada chapter introduction ataupun literature review, saya akan baca tu betul dan saya akan mixkan ke semua 3 jurnal tu menjadi satu, ditambahkan lagi dengan idea saya. So akhirnya dia jadi idea saya sendiri. Dan similarity index saya memang sentiasa bawah 30 lah. Okay, that is how I do. Kita similarity index tu tidak terlalu tinggi. Okay, kita dah habis bahagian sesi sharing. Okay, so sekarang ni sebelum before I move to technical part, nak tunjuk contoh maybe I open for the question first. Q&A.
Feel free to ask any questions if you have some.
Ada bahagian chat kalau soalan kita cuba baca. Okay, tak ada lagi Alright.
Can I ask question?
Yes, please, Doctor.
Sorry lah, boring lah you. I je yang tanya.
It's okay, tak apa.
Alright. Okay. This actually based on my experience. Tadi you were explaining on which parts that we can sort of take out before we run the Turnitin, so that because some parts are not apa orang kata macam mana pun you have to copy paste like the formula calculations. Methods on theories and things like that. So I have experience in one publication. This was an extended version of my paper last time. Okay. It's like the second version of the first paper that has been published. So naturally the same, of course the same variables, the same discussion would later occur in the same the second paper, right? So for example, tables, we use tables and such, and so they wanted us to submit a full report of the Turnitin without us taking out any parts. That was specifically being requested to us. So I have already, spoken to the editor, and I said that usually in any cases they would allow us to take out, the at least the tables and so on. But this publisher were adamant at that time that the Turnitin report we should submit the Turnitin report. We showed that we have run the Turnitin without taking any part of the paper. So do we actually, as author, have the rights? Do you think, in your opinion, in your experience, do you think that we have the right to fight for that? Because obviously some parts are just, you just have to copy paste, like you were mentioning just now. What is your opinion, Doctor?
Okay, this is my honest opinion, right? Okay, when it comes to research paper, Basically I'm not doing the similar thing that what I did for my thesis for the PhD, okay, or my master thesis, which means that if it is for the paper to be submitted to the journals, okay, all the time I would always ensure that it is must reach 20% and below for the similarity, okay, which means that is also included the methodology part. Okay, so that's why there's a big hard part where I have to change the symbol. For example, when I have this all formulation, beta, alpha, and so on. So this one, I for this paper, I use if so, which means that I myself try to reduce the similarity from this part based on my previous paper that I've already submit or that already published and available in internet. So as for me, for the research paper, majority of the writers still have to try their best to not replicate the same words or the same explanation as what they have already published in other people. They have to renew the way of explanation, even
I
though
see.
it's very technical.
I
It's a bit
see.
hard. Yeah, so that is for the paper. So it does not apply the rule of what we can do for our thesis for submission for our yeah.
Oh,
So
kan. Ah,
yeah,
understand.
dia tak apply. Yeah.
Ya, ya. Kena buat jugalah, tapi memang menangis jugalah nak tukar ni semua.
Yes, it's a bit time consuming. Memang betul. I have to
Ya.
change the symbol and I have to read but it takes a bit time, okay, because kita kena go through more and more journals to enrich our vocabulary dalam kepala kita so that bila kita buat paper ni, this is the way kita explain. Walaupun method sama, tapi method B so it depends on our understanding of the method dengan kita punya writing lah, masa vocab kita.
Creativity ya.
Yeah, kena richer. Yes, correct. Betul.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you so much. Thank you
Yeah,
so much
welcome.
for advice. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, ada soalan lain?
Yes, ada satu from Akila Zahir.
Okay,
Ask,
saya baca.
but she asked in Malay, adakah terma-terma khas seperti nama program dan subtopik yang ditulis dalam tesis turut menyumbang kepada ketertinggian peratus Turnitin? Bagaimanakah nak mengurangkan highlight merah pada terma-terma khas dan subtopik dalam chapter thesis?
Okay, by the way, even dalam thesis writing pun, you can remove the you punya list of table. List of table tu semua you boleh remove before you submit to the system. Yang you perlu letak start daripada abstract sampai sebelum references. Okay, so maksudnya even kita punya main page, kita punya nama dengan title thesis pun kita tak perlu masuk dalam Turnitin. Kita just nak dia punya content je, iaitu start from abstract sampai penghujung. Jadi itu kalau thesis lah, maksudnya basically kita dah basically from that action it can reduce our similarity because maybe the title yang kita perkenalkan maybe kataan tu macam 4-5 baris tu macam daripada tajuk paper orang lain kan. That thing can happen lah basically. Tapi selalunya kalau setakat daripada detections of the similarity tu daripada title, that is not the big issue. I think kalau saya sebagai editor pun saya tak anggap tu sebagai percentage yang membimbangkan lah. Maksudnya that is not really a plagiarism pun. The plagiarism tu perenggan tu merah, itu memang plagiarism. Okay, ataupun dalam 5 perenggan dalam satu teks tu ada bermacam-macam color. Merah, hijau, kuning, tak ada langsung yang macam kita ayat kita sendiri. That is also plagiarism. So we have to avoid that. We have to remove the concentrations of the color in certain part of the paragraph. Kalau boleh sikit-sikit je nampak daripada throughout the paper. Kalau dia concentrate dekat satu bahagian terlalu banyak, macam dia tidak memberi gambaran yang baik jugalah. Macam seolah kita macam plagiarism kat kawasan situ. So this is the style yang we have to do lah. Maksudnya we have kalau ikut daripada soalan tu memang tajuk tak menjadi isu. When you submit your paper yang you nak submit for the journal, for the Turnitin, sama juga. Saya punya practice, saya tak letak saya punya nama, universiti, nama saya, tajuk pun saya tak letak. Saya terus letak abstract. dan juga sampai acknowledgement. Acknowledgement pun tak payah letak. Okay. So maksudnya sampai conclusion. Which mean that we just put the nama, tajuk kajian, and then kita punya nama universiti, reference. Itu memang tak perlu letak lah, because dia akan meningkatkan kita punya similarity index. Okay. So boleh elak boleh elak. Kita boleh remove that. So dalam thesis memang bahagian-bahagian awal tu you can remove that part. Okay, dibenarkan. Alright, ada question yang lain-lain?
So far, no more questions. Are there any more questions you can ask the speaker? So far, we don't have any more questions.
Okay.
Out there.
So then I will proceed to showing you the technical aspect of the using Turnitin. Okay, so again, I have to explain to you that the using of Turnitin for me is just like for novice user. Okay, I'm not using it for the heavy purpose. So wait, I want to add the website first. Later on, I will share you. It's simple. This software is very helpful, and for me, it's also very simple. Okay, it's very simple. Okay, to get what we want. Okay, so I do read from the internet saying that this software we can also use to mark the assignment of the student. So when I read that things from the website, I remove that because I never done that. Okay, marking from that. Okay, so that's why I just put something that I'm familiar with. Okay, wait, nak tengok jap ini tiba-tiba incorrect username pula. Saya kena buka website dulu. The main website. Okay, sebab saya dah auto save guna, yalah auto save kan. Where are you? Okay, so sekarang ni saya nak share saya punya website. Okay, this one. Login, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Jangan tiba-tiba tak boleh sudah. Okay, nasib baik boleh. Okay, so when you log in the account, you will see this. Okay, sekejap. Saya nak tutup tepi ni. Okay, when you log in the account, remember this, you can access this account. If you don't have yet this account, you can get it from IT staff for the password. Okay. All right. So we have joint account. I never use this, so I basically cannot explain what is this purpose of joint class. Okay. As I mentioned, I use this for very simple purpose only. Okay. So this is the thing yang saya ada. Ini je yang saya share. Saya tak mampu nak terangkan more detail about the use. Macam bila kita ada assignment atau research ke apa ke, kalau kita ada assignment from one class, kita boleh add class lah. Okay, assignment untuk group A, group B, group C. So kita boleh lebih systematic, okay, lebih terancang, tersusun. Okay, for example lah, saya buat satu group di sini dipanggil sebagai Research Project 2021, which mean that all the research paper that I produce for this year, I will include it in these groups. Okay, and okay, saya buat je lah yang baru add class, for example. Okay, so this one usually I choose standard. I never use master. Again, I'm just a novice user of Turnitin. Okay, so like as I said, impact journal. Okay, for example, I will begin my impact research project. Okay, impact research project. I will begin my impact research project starting next month with my international few authors that have the ability to produce in Q1, Q2. So maybe as a leader in the group, I open up this group where I can check the similarity index once our job been done, right? So enrollment key, I mean, like, you can put any of the password. Actually, this is only you that will access to this software. Okay, so you can put any numbers. Like myself, I use these numbers. Okay, and then business economics. Okay, student level. This is for career. Okay, it depends. For the student purpose who submit their work and undergraduates. Okay, and then if you're master PhD student, you can like put it as postgraduate. Nothing much, so just put it there. Okay, class and dates. So this the term. Maybe your project, for this project usually it will until, for example, end of next year. Okay, my targets. This room, this room. So I click submit. Okay, and then we have this access code. This access code, congratulations, you have just created a new class, Impact Research Project. If you would like the student to enroll themselves in this class, they will need both the enrollment key you have chosen and unique class ID generated by Turnitin. So they can access, they can add in this class ID together with enrollment key. So when I want my fellow friends from my group's member, research partner, to access this from using his own Turnitin account, I can provide this ID and enrollment key, and he can also use my folder. Okay, usually this is not happen. Selalunya kita guna untuk diri kita sendiri je lah. So like in 5 members of team, seorang je lah in charge to check Turnitin, tak perlu ramai-ramai pun. Okay, usually like that. Alright, and then when you have open up, so you can see here, alright, 25 Ogos hari ni sampai 31 Disember. Okay, nothing much the rest. So I just click Impact Research Project. Okay, now we have these things. Saya just guna sesimpel mana yang boleh. So for example, you want to submit your first paper ataupun the first assignment of the student, you can click Add Assignment. Macam hilang sekejap. Okay, jap. This is your class homepage, create assignment. Okay, never mind. Cuba tengok yang satu lagi. Kenapa lah dia macam ni? Kita buka ni. Alright, add assignment. Okay, jap. Mungkin dia bukan hang tapi dia keluar dalam bentuk kecil. Kalau tak keluar juga, ya. Dia macam hang patutnya dia keluar tau. Bila kita assignment dia keluar box. Tunggu sekejap kot. Unexpected thing always happen bila kita tengah deliver apa semua, benda-benda macam ni berlaku. Tapi bila kita tak buat apa-apa, kita buat tu kerja kita sendiri, tak ada pula ada masalah macam ni. Okay, so when you click the add assignments, okay, dia akan keluar list kat sini lah. Okay, contoh dia. Okay, view. Okay, so dia akan create okay, dia akan create this one. Okay, dia akan create this one contoh dia, and then kita pun okay, ni macam projek bulan Julai for example. So saya pun boleh buka ni view. Okay, now saya boleh start upload file. Okay, contohnya this is paper from my brother. Cuba tengok contoh dia. Abang saya pun tak ada account ni, dia kadang-kadang tak tolong saya untuk check, and he is also very active doing research. So you see, when he submit his paper, okay, dia tak ada letak lah nama, title apa semua, tak ada. Terus abstract. Now you can already see the colours. Okay, sikit-sikit ada numbering kat situ. Okay. Kita boleh check. Nanti report tu kita boleh check kat sini, sebelah sini. Okay, never mind. We just go through. So of course dia akan detect all the colours. Okay. Yang menunjuk macam ni. This is dangerous. Nampak kalau banyak macam ni. Okay. So merah kan? So maksudnya the whole text tu macam, tapi sebab apa? Maybe sebab this one dia ada references. Ni, dia punya references to this one. Okay, so walaupun banyak macam ni, kita tengok secara kumulatif lah kita punya similarity tu berapa. Kalau similarity kita bawah 30%, acceptable lah. Okay, walaupun kita ada macam, okay, sebab kalau kataan macam ni, ada dua approach lah bila dia melibatkan penerangan model asal ni. Some people memang dia ambil bulat-bulat macam ni lah. Tapi kena ada, okay, some people try to reconstruct balik kataan. So ada dua versi. Tapi tak silap saya tak salah pun kalau dia macam very focus on teori kan. Dan dia ada daripada ciri-ciri dia. So tak salah untuk kita ambil ayat tersebut. Tapi dengan syarat mesti ada citation. Tapi again, secara total kita punya citation, kita punya similarity pun tak boleh lebih 30%. Okay. So, alright, ini contoh lah. Contoh. Okay. Kerja-kerja. So, ni nombor-nombor ni adalah dia punya sources lah. List of sources. Sekejap selalu ni dekat sebelah sini dia akan keluar similarity. Dia akan keluar. Okay, dia keluar kat sini. Alright. So, daripada kerja yang abang saya buat ni, dia cuma detect 10% saja. Yang mana 4% ni maybe daripada teori yang panjang tadi tu. Okay. So 10% ni di-consider sebagai sangat rendah dan kita boleh submit pada jurnal. Walaupun kita ada satu bahagian teks yang pengenalan teori asas tu, pengenalan. Jadi macam ada bahagian tu memang dibenarkan. Ada bahagian tu kalau di bahagian analisis, kalau kita ataupun introduction kita buat macam tu tak boleh. Tapi kalau macam dia adalah teori, ciri-ciri teori, probably boleh. Tapi dia mesti menyumbang secara total tidak boleh pada 30%. It depends on standard of the journal. So this is the way lah. So kita dapat check lah 4% dari mana. Okay, kita boleh klik okay, 4%. Kita boleh klik lagi kat sini 4%, dia akan tunjukkan semua sekali sources kat sini. Mana data 4% tu secara kumulatif. Okay, so bagi kita tak pun kisah sangatlah yang detail ni. Yang kita kisah adalah kita kena try to reduce the similarity content sebaik mungkin. So before that, saya nak kena tunjuk macam mana saya upload paper. Contoh submit paper, submit file. Okay, ni yang saya cakap tadi. Okay, yang ni memang kita biar je. Kita letaklah macam saya lah paper 1, paper 2 pula. Okay, langkah. Okay, ini macam tajuk paper lah saya tak nak buang masa sini. And then kita choose from this computer. Okay, ini adalah proses kita upload the paper. Okay, ini saya menghentam je bukan paper pun, saya masukkan je. Okay, and then before that, alright. Kita part upload betul. Okay, before that, okay ni, okay. Proses ni macam bila kita memang dah set up kita punya sistem ni yang dia tak upload dalam repository. Okay, maksudnya bila kita dah set up macam tu, dah tak ada isu lah. Okay, memang tak ada isu. Okay, dia kat sini pun ada online graded report dan sebagainya. Okay. Okay, edit sama setting. You are not this alignment. Okay, tak boleh. So saya patah balik. Okay, itu kenapa? Okay. Okay. So this similarity, okay, dia akan ambil masa tak lama tau untuk keluar the outcomes. Dia memang ambil masa sekejap je untuk keluar the outcomes. Okay, selalunya macam kadang-kadang saya buat kerja lain-lain, jap saya refresh. Kalau kerja lain, saya refresh. Nanti dia akan, lepas tu dia akan keluar result. Okay. Dan usually bila dah keluar result ni, macam 10% tu hijau, maksudnya bagus lah kan. And then you can click the save one here. Kat sini tanda ni, you ambil current view. Sebab apa? Kita tengok bila you download the current view one. Okay. Ambil masa sikit. Dia download ni, preparing download ni. Dia berat sikit tau. Tadi ni ambil masa sikit. First time saya dapat notice high usage. Okay. Alright, dia dah download dah kat sini. Kita boleh nampak kat sini. Alright, kita pergi. Ni, dah ada kat sini. Ini yang kita kena attach. Kalau journal minta, kita attach bersama. Kalau assignment selalu kita memang minta bersama pun, macam FYP student kan. So, dia orang kan ada detail lah dekat bawah ni, information, submission deadline sebagainya, ID. Okay. So, yeah, you can check yang mana. Macam ni, as I mentioned, my brother take this part sebab dia adalah teori, tapi dia ada letak citation. So, no problem sebab dia adalah bahagian teori. Okay, directly. Okay. Tapi overall dia tetap bawah 30%. So considered bukan plagiarism lah. Macam ni dah start macam banyak sikit kan. Sebab ini adalah cara dia terangkan prosedur. Prosedur kan bahagian selalu kita guna ayat sama. So even saya sendiri, bila bahagian methodology, prosedur, memang dia selalu akan detect higher similarity. Sebab okay. Repository option nanti saya tunjuk. Okay. So and then sekejap the last one adalah report. Okay, report daripada TNI lah yang kita boleh dapat. Inilah dia 4% apa sebagainya. So ni adalah bukti yang kita boleh hantar bersama So okay, by the way sebenarnya saya nak tahu okay. Preferences. Not preferences. Okay. Tadi Akilah ada bagi tahu something tentang repository tu. Once kita dah untick the repository option, next bila kita nak upload the same paper again, save for second time, adakah percentage itu akan jadi tinggi? Tak. Sebab bila kita klik no repository, maksudnya dia bukan kekal ada kat dalam database. So bila kita upload for the second time or third time, memang dia takkan jadi tinggi. Maksudnya setiap kita upload tu adalah paper yang baru. Bila kita repository tu, saya dah tak ingat dah. Okay? Tapi keputusan saya dah keluar, nampak? Tak sampai 10 minit. Apa pun paper pun, kadang-kadang banyak masa macam tu. Macam ni 3%. Okay? So, saya tak ingat mana yang saya setting no repository tu. Serius saya dah tak ingat kat mana. Sebab benda ni saya dah set up daripada awal lagi. Sebab tu, every paper yang saya upload memang dia tidak masuk dalam dia tidak masuk dalam repository. So, maksudnya, kita check, kita boleh check similarity tapi dia tidak kekal dalam database. Dia tidak kekal dalam database So dan okey, tak ada masalah kalau kita tak masukkan dan kekalkan dalam database lah, sebab kita bertujuan just nak dapatkan kita punya content similarity saja. Okay, so usually kita punya peranan kat sini hanyalah untuk check similarity dan bukan obligation pun untuk kita pastikan kita punya paper mesti dalam keadaan repository. Maksudnya disimpan dalam sistem Turnitin. It's up to individual. Okay, so jadi kalau you nak upload second time ke apa ke, every time you upload is a need. Okay, so yang repository tu ada dia punya cara dia. Saya serius tak ingat, saya cuba jap edit ni ke. Yang edit ni tak boleh pula. Saya tak ingat mana tekan no repository tu. Last time mungkin sebab dah lama sangat saya tak buat kot. Kalau okay, dekat add assignment doktor. Okay, sekejap saya cuba check balik assignment tadi tu. Alright, sebab tiba-tiba macam hang kat sini. Saya tak tahu kenapa. Ini yang masalah ni. Saya tak boleh nak saya klik add assignment tapi dia tak keluar apa-apa. Okay, I don't know what happened. Yang ni memang saya tak tahu apa punca dia. Saya tekan dia tak nak keluar, mungkin browser ataupun maybe faktor lain. Okay. However, Dr. Akilah ada beritahu kalau you nak change to no repository, tak add assignment hopefully you punya tak ada masalah lah. Saya punya pula ada something yang saya tak tahu punca dia. Okay. So I think this is all that I can explain to you. Nothing much on that. Rasa this is the purpose yang utama. Sekadar untuk check similarity content. Bila similarity kita rendah, kita pun boleh submit dekat kita punya journal dengan hati yang senang. Ataupun kalau diorang, okay, by the way, sistem-sistem macam Elsevier dan sebagainya, sistem mereka sangat canggih tau. Mereka boleh detect similarity content terus, direct. Bila kita submit paper kita dekat mereka punya sistem. So mereka akan jana terus diorang punya report tentang similarity. Sebab tu, editor kalau dia detect terus tourism dia punya Turnitin tinggi daripada sistem Elsevier for example, dia terus reject. Okay. So sebab tu some system dekat journal dia orang dah equip together dengan Similarity punya purpose like this. Sebab tu pentingnya kita buat set markah terlebih dahulu untuk memastikan plagiarism kita pada kadar yang sangat rendah dan kita tak memberi image yang salah kepada editor yang kita ni buat kerja copy paste. Especially kalau you hantar kat jurnal-jurnal bagus. Okay. So saya rasa situ sajalah. I don't have much thing nak share pun sebab back to the MC, kalau ada apa-apa soalan dipersilakan Yeah.
Thank you, Doctor.
Yeah.
Before we move on to a more serious Q&A session, I would like to announce a couple of things. So I humbly ask for the participants' attention. On behalf of the organizer, I would like to invite all participants who join our 6th workshop that will be held at August 27, 2021, which is this Friday, from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. The topic will be on complete postgraduate research proposing drafting. The speaker for the workshop will be Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Izzat. He is an INTI International University Nilai Professor. And e-certificates will be provided via email to all participants, and training hours will be registered for all UITM staff. To those who are asking for slides or recording of this webinar, we will be provided to you both via email. You can also visit UITM's official YouTube channel to rewatch the webinar once the video has been uploaded. Now, let's move on to the Q&A session. If you have any form of questions that you do not understand, you can freely ask the doctor.
Yeah. If you have any question, I think this is a simple software.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doctor, I think I have a question myself, since I myself is a student.
Yeah.
If, let's say, the submission or the essay, anything we're going to do that we're going to submit in the Turnitin, right? For example, if all of us, the entire class, are supposed to make an essay about a certain topic, like a certain theme, like probably let's say a holiday at the beach or something, right? Correct.
Okay.
What if the entire class submitted about the same theme? Will Turnitin like detect the entire class as plagiarizing each other, or will it just find similarities?
Okay. All right. If the students are doing the almost similar topics, right? I think, as I mentioned, all right. The issue here is that usually for the lectures, usually kita tak adalah nak macam terfikir the student copy paste the other student punya assignment. Usually we look into that possibility the student might do the plagiarism from the outside. Bila you submit, when the student submit the assignments, they also use the non-repository. Okay, non-repository. Maksudnya that thing will be not included in the database. The not included database, when there are other students that use the similar topics, okay, also they will not cross with the one that using the same topic. So maksudnya kat sini adalah pensyarah tu sendiri dia kena realize dengan mata dia bila menanda. Itu bukan lagi peranan Turnitin dah, itu kita sendiri. Kalau nampak sangat similar antara assignment, yang itu memang kita have to do something. Okay, sebab at the end bila kita upload apa-apa assignment kita ke our works research so on, memang we always didn't take the repository. Kita memang tak nak store that thing dalam kita punya sistem sebab kita tak tahu in the future, as I mentioned, maybe we have a certain study yang kita nak extend, replicate, extend with certain things. Jadi kalau kita dah store, nanti dah akan jadi self plagiarism. So nanti nak kena contact IT staff dan sebagainya. So I'm not sure lah kalau ada university student, university lecturer, contohlah sebab dia orang hantar sekali je kan. Mungkin ada macam tu kot, lecture yang macam tu, sebab akhirnya dia buat macam tu sebab dia nak tengok supaya student tapi this is kind of like unfair juga, kerana student tu buat sendiri, bukan dia copy paste daripada group lain. Tapi sebab tu kata benda tu boleh nyusahkan student balik. Macam soalan siapa cepat, dia yang terelak daripada masalah high similarity index. So for me, yang ini adalah pensyarah punya peranan untuk melihat secara manual assignment yang dihantar. Kalau memang nampak macam sama semacam je, walaupun teknik report rendah, maybe they can do something lah. Pensyarah boleh buat satu. Budi bersyara Alright.
I see. Thank you for the explanation, Doctor.
Yeah, welcome.
Are there any more questions that the audience would like to ask the doctor? Feel free to do so.
Assalamualaikum Doktor.
Ya, salam.
Okey,
Alright.
saya nak tanya, kalau macam kita kan buat thesis ataupun proposal, variables kita tu macam saya submit dekat Turnitin dan dia detect merah. So macam kan kita keep on going guna variables tu dalam bahasa, kan kita alih daripada bahasa Inggeris ke bahasa Melayu, nama variables kan standardized. Macam contoh macam TPAC apa tu. Jadi macam mana kita nak masuk dalam Turnitin, kita nak kurangkan merah tu macam mana, sebab nama variables kan, takkan kita nak simply ubah ikut suka hati kita untuk kurangkan persen tu. Macam mana Doktor? Tips untuk Doktor, boleh ke kita buat short form macam contohlah macam instructional leadership, kita just buat macam IL, lepas tu short form dia jadi IL dan kita submit ke dalam Turnitin. Kita tak guna nama variables tu secara penuh. Thank you.
Doctor, are you there? I think we may have a technical difficulties with the doctor's connection. I'll try to contact him and inform the audience very soon.
Okay, line dah okay balik. Boleh repeat soalan tak?
Boleh Doktor.
Okay.
Okey, saya nak tanya Doktor, boleh ke kalau macam kita jadikan nama variables kita tu, variables kajian kita tu jadikan short form untuk kita kurangkan persen dalam Turnitin tu, persen plagiarism.
Tak ada masalah kan, sebab macam saya lah, foreign direct investment, FDI. Macam as I mention lah, penulisan artikel jurnal ni kadang-kadang kita kena kreatif, kadang-kadang kita melihat kepada the past paper that already been published, some guna akronim dan sebagainya. So maksudnya macam like sustainable development, sekali SD bracket, the rest kita letak SD saja for example pun boleh juga. So it is possible, tapi that thing contribute terlalu kecil similarity kepada paper secara total. Similarity yang banyak ni datang daripada taxes. Yang kalau kita ambil macam satu tax daripada certain paper kan, yang kita tak berapa nak ubah, yang itu yang akan menyumbang kepada high similarity index. Tapi kalau setakat macam variable ni sebagainya, dia memang sangat rendah dia punya detections of the similarity tu. Jadi kita kena fokus pada yang berat lah sebenarnya.
Okey, terima kasih Doktor.
Ya, sama-sama.
Thank you for the question. Are there more questions before we move on to the closure of today's webinar? If there are no more questions, then we shall move on, proceed with the next session, which is the closure. I will leave the chat box to ask for 2 more minutes, just in case if there are any late questions.
Okay, so I hope that semua jelas lah dengan apa yang saya, the one that I shared just now. Okay, the use of the Turnitin, because actually Turnitin is very close to the things that we have to do, which is research paper, right? Research paper, project buku, sebagainya. Okay, apa-apa we have to double check lah. Kita sendiri sebagai academics pun kita kena ensure that our kerja free from plagiarism act, because we have heard the story before lah, ada pensyarah yang ditangkap act of plagiarism, so we don't want that to happen to us. Okay, apa yang berlaku di luar tu adalah satu, orang kata, peringatan pada kita that we are responsible for the works that we have done before we submit to any outside publisher dan sebagainya. Okay, jadi that's why Turnitin ini adalah satu software yang amat memudahkan kerja kita sebagai pensyarah dan juga can produce a better and honest assignment to us. Sebab tu macam saya bukanlah pensyarah yang macam nak tolak markah kalau kata grammar salah sini-sini kan. Okay, tapi usaha mereka untuk membentuk ayat mereka sendiri, okay, tidak macam nampaklah copy paste daripada website semua tu, kita tak nak macam tu. They need their efforts, okay, to write by their own. Okay, jadi bagi saya pemakan saya tu saya nilai daripada content apa yang disampaikan, not really about the English dan sebagainya. Okay, melainkan kalau English terlalu teruk tu memang I have to say something lah. Okay, tapi overall so far lah, because of the Turnitin ini ramai student tak berani tiru dah. Okay, because we have the solid evidence lah. Kalau kata tiru memang we have this authority lah nak bagi berapa markah ke assignment student ni kan. So that's why we have to use this software as much as we can. Every semester pun kita kena guna untuk check semakan kerja kita dan semakan pelajar. Dan we have to insert the value dan honesty. Okay, kita kena bagi tahu bahawa kalau Turnitin ini adalah macam punca untuk kita tidak melakukan plagiarism. Hakikatnya kalau Turnitin ini tak wujud, kita tetap kena integrity dan honesty dengan hasil kerja kita, sebab benda ni Allah nampak kan. Okay, keberkatan kita buat suatu benda kan daripada kejujuran dan integrity. So that's why for me kita bolehlah sampaikan dakwah sikit kepada pelajar-pelajar kita tentang kejujuran dalam penghasilan assignment. Okay, so itu sahaja dari saya. Thank you very much pengurusi majlis dan penjemput yang menjemput saya pada sesi hari ini yang sangat ringkas bagi saya. Dan slide tadi tu saya tak letak references sebab yang saya ambil tu semua daripada website. Okay, saya just explain dengan cara saya. Okay, jadi saya tak lupa nak bagi letak kat slide saya tu references tu. Kalau tidak nanti kata plagiarize pula. So memang saya pun nak cepat kan sebab tak ada masa nak construct ayat sendiri. But that is the best thing yang I boleh share to all of you lah. Okay, so thank you very much pada yang bertanya soalan. Saya harap segala ilmu yang sampaikan ni bermanfaat kepada kalian semua. Semoga jelah kita semua boleh menjalankan duty kita sebaik mungkinlah sebagai tenaga pengajar. Okay, itu saja dari saya. Terima kasih.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Rahim, for the informative explanation. But before we end our workshop for today, I would like to remind the audience that we have a photo session right now. So I kindly ask the participants to turn on their camera and prepare for the photo session. If you would, please turn on your cameras now. We shall take a few photos, if you would.
Thank you. Welcome.
We have 26 participants in here. I hope we could have more turning on their cameras.
This time saya rasa sangat lama bekerja dari rumah. Yeah, I think we have this very long feeling working at home, right? Tak tahulah macam mana nanti lepas ni.
Okay, all right. For the ones that are opening their cameras, thank you for the cooperation. We shall take the pictures now. So prepare yourself. 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay, we will be taking one more. Hang on. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Look at the camera, smile. Okay, thank you for your cooperation.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome
Thank you,
all.
Dr.
Yeah.
Abdul Rahim, for
Yeah,
this
sama-sama.
insightful and detailed explanation on Turnitin for instructors and students. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for the participants who had stayed until the end of this session. We organizer hope this session will help everyone in the future and in their studies. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Before we
Okay, bye.
officially end this session, the organizer would like to remind all participants to fill in their particulars for attendance and feedbacks form via the link that is provided in the chat box. Thank you very much and have a good day.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.